Morning or afternoon. Okay, so today we have Fed Chair Powell testifying at 10 o'clock and new home sales. One of them is high impact news. Hello, Santosh. So we're gonna have to trade carefully until 10 o'clock. The main idea is for us to be bullish and reach all-time highs today or tomorrow. This would be the main targets. And yeah, all-time high might seem far away, but with some news, anything can happen, to be honest. And even for us to come back here and just attack this daily, no, hourly fair value gap would be reasonable enough. But so far, it seems that we might have not such a big range type of day. So all-time highs might be far away unless some news are gonna fuel the move. Now, our main intention is to stay bullish. I'm not gonna short this. And I have kind of a guess that we might just be having some 3, 4, 5 green candles in a row, take all-time high and then come back here and consolidate. But trading all-time highs is difficult. You're gonna have a lot of consolidation and you're gonna have splurges in price, which means they might not happen during trading hours or during the morning session, at least. Or the open is going to be very aggressively. Therefore, there is a chance for us not to capitalize on the full move while taking the all-time highs and reaching all this buy-side liquidity. But let's be careful. Let's be mindful of that, and we shall see how everything is gonna unfold. All I'm saying is not gonna be easy. Price can come back inside this inversion fair value gap and then go higher today. Immediate rebalance would be a bit too aggressive in my opinion, meaning coming all the way back here and then going up. But you never know. News can do that. We have to be mindful all of this order block here as well. So trading inside this, coming back down, trading inside this is fair as well. Let's see what's basically touching 320. It's perfectly normal, but means that we're gonna have to take some of yesterday's lows. Let's look on the chart and see how that would play out. So yeah, having all of this in mind, everything is possible. We don't want to short unless something very obvious is happening, because the daily trend is extremely bullish. We're close to all-time highs, so I'm not gonna try to search for shorts unless it's extremely obvious and you see a lot of speed towards the sell side, basically to attack the Asian low and to attack all this liquidity here. Usually it doesn't happen. I'm just being mindful that in case we're gonna have a movement lower, it's perfectly normal. It's just another manipulation on their part in order to basically trap all these people that have been buying here and anticipating for the all-time high. Let's see how everything is gonna unfold. We have also this fair value gap on the 1 hour, which is good enough of a buy signal. If price drops inside this gap, I'm always bad with these ones. Okay. But basically, for us to see the price moving here and then having this type of movement, it's very possible. Or we attack the Asian lows and still move higher. But basically, this would be the movement we're looking for. Also here you can see we have a fair value gap sitting very pretty. This is acceptable too. Might look like we're breaking the market structure, but not on the 4-hour time frame, because this can just come back down and then move up again without altering the market structure. But to be honest, the 4-hour candle is about to close. We're gonna take the high of this one. Inside here we have also fair value gap on the 1 hour. Right now we are extremely bullish. However, if a correction is due, it's going to be just a short-term one in order to accumulate more and distribute higher. We're about to open in 6 minutes, but if you have any questions regarding what I'm showing, please let me know. We're going to have to trade very carefully at 10 o'clock because of the FOMC. He's gonna testify. Fed Chair Powell, which is the head of FOMC, he's gonna testify in front of the Senate, which might bring a lot of volatility. Yesterday, we did not have that type of volatility while he was talking, but the price kept on moving higher. Obviously, in hindsight, I regret the fact that I did not take advantage, but past experience taught me that trading FOMC can be extremely dangerous. So yesterday it was a matter of, let me just hide the drawing so we can look a bit. Yesterday it was a matter of when shall we start trading FOMC, because if you started trading from 10 o'clock, you had a lot of fair value gaps that were not respected. The only one that was being respected was this inversion fair value gap over here. We traded once, twice, but these two were not respected. And then only at 11 o'clock we started seeing some calmness while slowly moving higher. I tried shorting this one. It worked for 5 minutes, then we flipped, and here it was a signal to buy. I didn't do it. Got frustrated. At the end of the day, I was being chopped around a bit, and I don't know, let me see. We bought finally this one. We broke even on the day, and that was it. Very frustrating day. Happy with my discipline because I kept it to a minimum. In the past, I used to be extremely aggressive during these types of days, and I would be over leveraging because of how it was frustrating. Now I'm working on that. I'm taking a lot of notes. I started a new journal. I'm gonna show you after a week worth of data my journal, and basically it's just a spreadsheet where I'm gonna enter all my information, all my trades, and then I'm just gonna analyze the data and I'm gonna see what I'm lacking and whatnot. Obviously there are a lot of apps that do that, but I wanna collect something that it's free and accessible for everyone, so later on I can just share it. I don't wanna, I know there are people who try trading as a hobby and that don't want to invest a lot of money, or they just don't, they want to study. And to truth be told, some of the subscriptions are like 100 euros, $100 and whatever. So I think that's a bit pricey for some people. But yeah, thank you. But yeah, I would say that trying this new type of journaling, because I used to journal in the past only with screenshots and notes, but now I want to do it a bit more technical and look over the numbers and see basically around which times am I good and which type of strategies of mine work best. I don't have any data on that. Mostly I'm basing all of my decisions on memory and experience, but I'm getting old and I believe charts and data are gonna give me an edge. I need all the edge I can get. So yeah, today I'm a bit skeptical about the price action because the Asian range was very tight, which doesn't provide us with a lot of large standard deviations. We're already trading, and this is interesting actually. We're trading close to the second standard deviation of the Asian range. Meanwhile, we left a lot of relatively cool lows over here. So for me, midnight and Asian lows can be a very nice target. However, I'm very mindful of the fact that the daily chart is very bullish. So I will wait for the 9:30 to open, but maybe a short can happen. Maybe. However, right now what I'm struggling the most these days, and it's mostly due to frustration because I have good days and bad days, mentally speaking. Like, I used to be extremely flexible in terms of bias. Lately, I get very stuck with one of my biases, and if I consider a day to be bullish and it's not, I have a difficulty for some reason to flip my bias, which didn't happen in past. This is something new that I'm dealing with. So yeah, sometimes I'm having that paralysis analysis, which hinders my training, but I guess it's a good problem to have. But yeah, let's see how 9:30 is gonna act and if we're gonna see some sell side before reaching all-time highs. And I'm basing my decision on the fact that okay, we just opened. Basing my decision on the fact that the Asian range was very tight. So let's see. Any other day, I would just short right now and place a stop loss, but the bias is too bullish, the daily bias, so I'm not playing with that. So we touched the 8:30 open, and now we're basically let me just delete some of these ones. So right now, basically, we're going for 531 and 25, which is an hourly CB. And the next target would be 666, or the fourth standard deviation, which is 602. Let's see. Well, I don't know if it's going to happen today due to standard deviations, to the Asian range standard deviations, but we're close to all-time highs. We need to take them into consideration. We're very bullish. So to answer your question shortly, yes, I'm looking at that. They are the same charts. So basically, this is the continuation of NQ. It doesn't break any contracts. You have this adjustment here, obviously, but basically it's NQ1, which combines all of the contracts throughout the year. So right now on this specific chart, you can see all the past data, right? You can like these are pre-calculated past contracts, and you can see the fair value gaps. You can see everything. We are gonna trade September's contracts while we are making reference to the continuous future contract from Nasdaq, because it's one of the same. The price is the same if you adjust it by pressing here. However, you have all the data right here. You have all the data. But for trading, we will use the September contracts. And yeah, basically that's the difference between them two. This one is for trading, the other one is for charting. Because of the past future props that I used to I was using for trading, I have never traded the continuous contract, which is this one. But one day I will try it. I don't know if they have micros for this one. That's the issue. They must do, and they do, and it's this one basically. So it's the same thing. I can just place here the trades, but yeah. They're the same charts. They represent the same price action, the same price. The only difference, this is just one contract for September. This one encapsulates all of the contracts. Therefore, you can see past charting data. You can see the fair value gaps, the highs, the lows. On this one, you cannot see what happened here. See what's happening? You're losing data as the time is progressing. Yes, you should enable that in order to have the exact price of the current contract trading, which is September. You need to adjust your contract. There's a high probability we're just going to run with this. Let's see what's going to happen. I'll wait another minute and I'm going to get out of this trade. It was not the best of ideas. And I will explain to you afterwards. Just gonna be patient a bit. Okay. Uh, yes, we have relative equal lows and we have high impact news trading at 10 o'clock. I just know from past experience that this might run, so it's just a bad habit on my part to judge based on that. So if it's just gonna run without us, because as I said before, when we're trading close to all-time highs, the price is just gonna run without you most of the times, and this might happen today as well. So I wanted to be placed in a trade before 10 o'clock. However, I'm a bit too late. I should have bought this one. So yeah, I just don't like my chances right now. That's the only issue. Because we also have this fair value gap here, so the price might come down here. So yeah. But yeah, usually the price is just gonna run like this. But you're gonna see when you have a very bullish movement, that bullish movement is gonna leave a lot of relative equal lows. And I used to get distracted by that in the past, and always assume no, the price today is gonna attack those relative equal lows, which doesn't happen. The price is just gonna leave that liquidity for later. And though those things you can only understand after had after you have some experience and you have traded and you have hit that wall a few times. And yeah. Right now, the plan of us having a small correction, that's just out the window. It doesn't play anymore. We're so high right now. Meanwhile, on the day we're only plus 60 percentile. So yeah, it's okay. Let's be patient. Now ES is running. It's going to be a back and forth type of day between these two pairs. Let me check gold. What's doing gold? Yeah, nothing much is happening here. Yesterday I was checking gold because I didn't like the price action on the Nasdaq. I'm testing out, I'm checking things. On weekends I'm checking the charts for Bitcoin as well. If we're gonna have a bear market on Bitcoin, there's a lot of money to be made there, so I would like to be a bit accustomed to the price. We have Bitcoin futures, so that's good as well. Yeah, same. On Bitcoin, I would trade 15 minutes and 1 hour minimum. Like this is such a buy. But it's happening in the morning, right? So you have this fair value gap, respected the half of it. Meanwhile, you have an upcoming high, so you have two relative equal highs here. And what you want to aim for is these two relative equal highs today, basically. And you have one trade like this and can feed you for a month or more. For swing trading, Bitcoin is very interesting, and I'm looking into that. I'm gonna start also a small account on some platform. I don't know if I can trade with AMP Bitcoin futures. I'm gonna check. But yeah, imagine you buy this. Let's try a long position. Try a long position. And let's say you're risking $100, right? Risking 100. Right here. I just don't know how to change this. Let me give me a second. Yeah, I'm considering it because futures are not always volatile. Risk entry. Okay, so basically you would have a 3.8 risk reward. So if you trade this and you can make $300. Most probably, yeah. I just don't know how to change this for the price levels, but anyway, let's focus on Nasdaq. It was an arrow, and it doesn't matter. It's okay. If we respect this hourly fair value gap, I'm gonna need a bit more information, because if we are bearish and have a short-term correction, why not go for the Asian lows? Since we've been trading so higher up, right? And basically respect the trend of the other days where we would have a splurge in price, then come back down, splurge in price, come back down, splurge, back down. So maybe this is gonna be the scenario today as well. Let's see if this one is gonna become an inversion fair value gap first. We don't have a first presentation fair value gap, truth be told. This is the first one.
They are, let's take Georgia's agricultural sector, mostly pecans and poultry and cotton exports. They've been hit hard by retaliatory tariffs from trading partners like China. Why are you running away from the tariff fight? Give us some understanding. I, this is just not our goal. We are not.
Let's wait and see. I was checking if for links. Becher talking. I'm gonna reply to your questions a bit later. I'm thinking about the short. I'm just trying to see how this is gonna play out first. Might be a bit too early. I have this inversion fair value gap. There is a chance we're gonna go back up here again, so that's why I'm saying might be very early for what I'm doing. Because you have a breaking market structure on a 5 minute and you have a fair value gap in front of a CB over here. I tried it with a small stop loss, but the real stop loss should have been at 546. So that's why. And also, due to the pre-market analysis that we just established, I was looking for the Asian lows before we go to all-time highs, but most probably we're not gonna have that. Let's try it one more time. But I believe we're gonna get smoked because in 5 minutes we're gonna have the high impact news. And we have relative equal lows on ES as well. So this is a fair value gap as well. Maybe this would have been just a better buy. Let's see. If we take this low here, I'm just gonna move my stop loss a bit more, just because I want to have more bullets in my chamber. Volatility is gonna come when they start talking, so I would like to be below here before they start talking. That would be ideal. Below here meaning below 485. Ideal price action. Moving the stop loss here at 534. Yeah. Okay, they're talking. Once we take this lows, I'm gonna move to break even or even more. Because we have this 1 hour fair value gap, so I'm mindful of that. We're moving very slow as well, which is a sign of manipulation, and I don't like that. It depends on the speed. I'm gonna close or I'm gonna keep the position open. If we have a lot of speed and we just whack through this 1 hour fair value gap, I'm gonna keep my position. Otherwise, I'm gonna close it at 467. We might be having some zigzagging, so I don't want to be part of that. I want this to act as an inversion fair value gap. Ideal situation. Let's see the lows now. I don't want consolidation now. I would like to see the lows because we might have some very aggressive candles. Might see the highs again before we take the lows, and I don't want that. I don't want to be involved in that. Right now, yeah, that's gonna bring volatility. Ah, at NATO, got it. If we see the lows and they both start talking and it brings volatility, maybe we can just attack the Asian lows very fast. That would be ideal for us. Let me grab some water. Very aggressive all across the board. In the speech, everyone is upset. Yes. Moving to break even. Plus commissions. We had a loss already, so I'm mindful of that as well. We just touched that 1 hour candle, so I'm trading very carefully. Matter of fact, I don't want the price even here to come, so I'm gonna recoup a bit of that loss. Okay, he's talking. That's why we had that candle. For most of you, I advise for you to close the trade. You're already in a good profitable position. And you recovered if you follow the previous trade. I'm just trying to build this account a bit, so maybe I can catch a break. Some words might be, the market might respond to some words, so yeah, anything is possible. That's why I advise for you to be out of the trade now. It reached the first target that I established, the fair value gap on the 1 hour. I'm trying to see if he's gonna take it again. That's why I'm waiting for. Otherwise, I might cancel it as well. I might close the trade. This is a 1 minute fair value gap here. It looks better on the E-mini. I'll wait for this 1 minute candle to close and then I'm gonna react. It took 367. Close it. Just to show you guys discipline, I think it's gonna run, in my opinion, and it's gonna attack this relative equal lows. 60 profit with the previous loss. Let's see now attacking this 407. It's gonna come aggressively. That's one of my frustrations. But the price is moving very slow, so I don't want to be in a manipulation phase. Yes, 100%. Right now I would have a partial taken and just wait for the last contract for 407. Meanwhile, my stop loss would be placed above this 5-minute candle, which is at 504.75, because that would be a break in market structure. You have all across the board, you have here relative equal lows, relative equal lows. Everywhere is so much liquidity to the downside, but all this news, it's not an easy day. I cannot take partials, therefore that's my full position. One E-mini contract would mean that would be a $1,000 trade, so I would take it. Plus, I want to build this account, and it seems impossible with... yeah, see, I would not be comfortable with this movement right here. It depends. Right now, I see the price as being in a low resistance run, so I don't feel comfortable shorting inside the 1 hour fair value gap, and I don't feel yet comfortable to go long, so I'll have to let the price action guide me. I cannot just make speculations because that's gonna hinder my judgment. I'm trading off the price action. It showed me here the first presentation fair value gap. I shorted it and I picked this low basically. The moment it touched it and I saw there's not a lot of speed, I decided to close it because I didn't have any partials to take. Bear in mind, this can still run and be very aggressively to the downside. I just, I don't have that luxury right now. For example, if the price is gonna come back up here, I'm gonna close the stream and come back for the afternoon session. Because this would break all the market structures for shorts. And they would mean that they just manipulate the market, they take some more liquidity because this people have stop losses above this high and above that high. And yeah. If you missed it, tomorrow is another day. Don't get frustrated because of it. It's a learning experience just to see it, and you're gonna have it next time. Now, let's do this. And take a picture so we can journal it. We have 2 trades to journal today. Amazing. And 1 print screen. That's it. But my main idea would be don't force any trades if you missed one. I used to do that in the past. I was seeing in hindsight a fair value gap that was 5 minutes ago. And I was like, I'm just going to trade off that and I'm going to trade the trend and maybe it's going to reach those lows because the initial target is not going to be big enough for me to cover the trade that I'm taking. So I was just taking bad decisions at the end of the day. But yeah, for now the price it seems that it's just moving very, very slow, but no market structure has been no market structure shift has been happening. Therefore, the shorts are still winning. Yeah, this is the way it's happening all the time during conferences. You don't know if they're gonna say anything, so The idea is that after you've been beaten by market so many times and you're seeing some signature in price, like when you're short, you want to see speed. You want to see like the market is panicking, like it's trying to reach that liquidity. When you see everything moving very, very slow, it means that it's manipulated and your target might not be feasible. Therefore, if you have some profits, and especially the way we had like 60 ticks, which is $120 on the micro, that's more than enough for a day. Like that's huge. It covered the previous loss and some more. So usually in the past, I'll be honest with you, I would be holding as much as possible, trying to get the biggest profit until I kind of realized what's the sweet spot and what was my average PNL. Per trade, my average PNL was like 500, 600. So for me, usually once I dip, I go above $700, I'm already in my mind, I was like, at some point I'm gonna have to close this trade if it doesn't pan out and it doesn't go fast in my favor. So now the way I was like noticing all these candles overlapping each other, not a lot of speed, and I was like, I will take this one. I don't wanna stay too long in this trade. So with experience, you kind of like see these things and you kind of develop some type of sixth sense. Obviously, sometimes your emotions are going to take over and you're going to confuse that experience with emotions. But that's why day trading is so hard. You're going to have a lot of moments when your emotions will take over and you're going to take bad decisions. Meanwhile, your experience is going to say for you to do differently. So it's a constant battle of mind versus heart versus feelings. And yeah, you have basically to shut yourself off, turn off the emotions. And that's not an easy thing to do. Any other day, I would just short this high here being taken, and I would not consider this to be a bullish fair value gap. But right now, anything is in the cards because I don't like this big wick that is being left here. This is liquidity. Meanwhile, in essence, you have a bullish breaker, which is a low, high, lower, low, higher, high, right? On E-mini, this high has not been taken. So we cannot consider this to be a breaker. Therefore, this fair value gap doesn't stand. And this is what's happening now. But I don't wanna short right now. And during news, after I've profited, yeah. But right now, if you're really itchy, I guess just short this inversion fair value gap, place your stop loss at 499, and yeah, aim for the lows. Let's see if we simulate what I'm saying. Like this. So 1 micro would mean we're risking $37 for 120. But bear in mind you have relative equal highs here, so they're gonna trick you. So it's not ideal. That's why I'm not trading. Not trading this. On ES you have a fair value gap. Wait. This one. So short, stop loss, low. Not today. Not today, my friends. Dow is gapping, is going lower. And like that, that's why you don't trade when you notice these market conditions. Guys, let me check. Okay, we're streaming for 1 hour 15. Let's come back for the PM session if you wanna join. I will check it out. Thank you for being here, and yeah, have a good day. Don't trade anymore. Let them finish talking. We already had a good trade. It was a good day. Just, yeah, please stop trading. Have a good one. No problem. Thank you for being here. I'm gonna try to provide more information moving forward. I would like for this channel to succeed, really. It gives me a lot of motivation being here. I'll be honest. It helps me a lot. So yeah, every time you're joining, it means a lot to me. Have a nice day. Ciao.